You're the one who took our money, aren't you? You're the one who took our money, Henf. You po thief. Fess up. When I went to the convenience store, Miss Lucia was being abused by someone who looked like the owner for stealing their money. Lucia was the one who had previously helped me deliver my dropped wallet to the police. She would never steal money from the cash register.
No matter how poor my family is, I would never steal money from the store. Please believe me.
Oh, what, you po brute.
The owner stood in front of Miss Lucia and looked as if he was about to strike her. Hey, don't you think that's too rude? I found myself objecting to the owner. Then she said something that shocked me. My name is Camilo. I was born in this city, the son of a watchmaker who has been in business for generations. It used to be a very prosperous business, but recently, with the increase in the number of major watch chain stores across the board, our watch store is on the verge of sinking. When I was a little boy, I used to love assembling and disassembling clocks, and I used to be so absorbed in it that I would ignore the toys and games that my friends were playing. However, every day when I saw a deserted watch store, all I could think of was that watch stores were an anachronism and that my life would be over if I kept on doing such ugly things. One day, I was going around my usual course as a salesman. I was so unmotivated that I was naturally unable to put any effort into it. I had just been chatting with an old client of mine. After eating lunch, I fell asleep in my parked car. I got out of the car, yawning. I guess our clocks are out of fashion nowadays. I mumbled to myself as I reached into my pants to get a drink. What's missing? My wallet, which was supposed to be in there, was not there. I thought I had put it in my bag, so I searched inside but couldn't find it. I wondered where I had dropped it. I broke out in a cold sweat and suddenly remembered that there was a police station near where I had just stopped, so I hurried to start the car. I saw the police station and stopped the car. Excuse me.
How can I help you?
There was another young woman at the police station. She looked like a high school student. She was wearing a blazer with lint sticking out of the shoulders. Her blazer has lint coming out of the shoulders and is tattered around the elbows. Her bangs were long and hanging down over her eyes, and her expression was somewhat dark. I think I dropped my wallet around here.
Is this wallet by any chance?
The woman then held out a black wallet to me. I said, yes, this is it. Here it is. Apparently, this woman had picked up my wallet and had come to the police station to deliver it to me. Thank you very much. Saying this, I immediately checked the contents. The money and the card are safe. Thank goodness.
Well then, I have a part-time job.
She said that and walked away immediately. I was filled with relief that my wallet was back, but then I came to my senses and chased after the woman. Excuse me. The woman turned around. Thank you for picking it up. I'm sorry. I didn't even thank you enough.
No, I'm glad you found it so quickly.
I felt warmth as she smiled kindly at me. My name is Camilo. I run my own watch store, and I was just going around on business.
I'm Lucia.
Lucia, please allow me to thank you. I don't know what kind of things young girls like nowadays, so I would be glad if you could tell me what kind of things you like. Miss Lucia laughed, but with a slightly puzzled expression on her face.
I'm sorry. I'm in a hurry to get to my part-time job now. Would you mind if I walk with you?
I nodded and decided to walk to her part-time job. Lucia told me that she is a junior at Him High School near here. Being a senior in high school, isn't it hard to pass exams?
No, I won't take exams. I will work.
Is that so?
Because it costs a lot of money to go to school, and we can't afford it.
I see.
I have a fatherless family, and my mother works day and night. She comes home when I and my siblings are asleep, and when I wake up in the morning, she's already at work. So I have to take care of my siblings and the house. When I listen to my friends, playing, and worrying about higher education, it's like I'm listening to a story from a distant world.
Hearing that, if I were in the same position, I might steal the contents of the wallet when I pick it up. I might think about it. Nonetheless, I was impressed by her good nature of person who properly reported it to the police station. I had a good impression of her. In the meantime, we arrived at the convenience store where Lucy was working.
Then, see you around.
I forgot to thank you for something.
No, I didn't deliver it with that intention. And besides, I have a part-time job from now on.
I'm sure you're right. I'll see you some other time. I looked directly into her face. I enjoyed talking with you today, Lucia. Was your part-time job at 10 o'clock? Okay, I said and checked my watch. It was 5 minutes past. She said, oh my God, I talked too much, sorry. Then she checked her watch and looked a little troubled.
Oh, my watch is running late again. I have to change the batteries as soon as possible. Sorry, see you.
Good luck. And so she walked into the store, and I watched her until she was out of sight. But, oh no, I forgot my car. I turned right and ran out the way I came. I had been going to the convenience store where Lucy worked from time to time since that day. She said,
Welcome, hello.
Miss. Lucia was busy inspecting products and serving customers. She was a different person from the last time I saw her, speaking louder than anyone else with a voice that echoed throughout the store, and politely bowing to each customer at the cash register. On her wrist, she still wears the watch she wore that day. Did you get the battery changed in your watch? I asked her at the register, Coke in hand.
No, it's been busy at all.
She said, smiling kindly and handing me the Coke that had been paid for. I said, well, I'll see you.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again.
Miss. Lucia gave me a carefree smile. On the way home, I was reminded of Miss Lucia's busy work schedule. She sacrifices herself and works hard for her family. In comparison, I was disgusted with myself for being so useless. Even though I had been allowed to go to school like everyone else and had taken over a watch store that had been in the family for generations, I had begun to cut corners on my work for any reason I could think of. What am I doing when I'm so blessed? I haven't even been able to properly thank her the other day for the wallet. Is there anything I can do? I was thinking about it for a long time as I looked at the watches in the showcase. Then it hit me. I wondered if I could give her a watch as a gift. Why not make an original watch in her image and give it to her as a gift? Soon after work, I holed up in my workshop. I thought about the perfect band for her and how to design the dial. After work, I would work on it until the day changed, so I had to fight sleepiness during the day. But while I was working, I could forget about the things I didn't want to do. It had been many years since I touched a clock with such a sense of excitement. I remembered how I felt as a child. Whenever I saw my grandfather assembling small parts with metal fittings in his store, I wanted to be a craftsman like him. I devoted myself to watchmaking. And then, at dawn, I would say to myself, it's done. The watch was finished. I can't wait to give it to him and see his surprised face. It had been a long time since I had felt this way. I am a sober man with no special qualities, but I can't believe that I would have such feelings for a high school student. I told myself over and over again that this was not a romantic feeling, but just a way of saying thank you. The most important thing to remember is that you can't get a good deal on a new product or service without having to pay a lot of money for it. I wandered around the store, looking at the merchandise, wondering if she was closed today. Then I heard a voice yelling at me from the office.
It's you, isn't it? You're the one who took our money, you po thief.
I didn't steal anything.
Don't lie.
The voice on the other end was Lucia's. I felt something unusual in the tense situation and entered the office without thinking. Inside, a large man who appeared to be the owner was pointing a finger at Lucia. Lucia was just standing straight, looking down. A few people who looked like employees were looking at her with concern a little distance away from them. I opened my mouth. I said, "Isn't that a little rude? Do you have any proof that she did it?"
Who are you? Who are you? Outsiders don't stick their necks out.
I was a little intimidated by the force of the situation. I said, "And I'm just passing through." The owner sighed.
I don't know why I'm telling you this as I pass by, he said, but lately, a lot of the money in the store doesn't add up. This guy's house is so poor, he could do it. I was just about to ask her about that.
She said, "No matter how poor we are, I would never steal the store's money. Please believe me."
I opened my mouth to shake off the owner's glare. "Oh, I dropped my wallet a few days ago, and she delivered it to the police station. Someone like that would never steal money from a store." I was at a loss for words. Then, as if to add to the atmosphere, the employees who had only been watching from the sidelines, the employees who had only been standing by and watching, began to raise their voices.
"Owner, you are being too judgmental. Lucille is doing a great job for such a young girl. She's doing a great job for such a young woman. Lucille wouldn't steal money, would she?"
Others came to her defense one after another, saying that it was not natural, that it was impossible for Lucia to steal, and so on. Thank God, there were people here who were looking out for Lucia. The owner looked embarrassed.
I'm sorry for being so judgmental.
With that, he grumpily walked out front. My mouth was dry from nerves.
Lucia said, "Thank you. Here you go."
I took the plastic bottle he handed me, opened the cap, and drank the water in one gulp.
"Thank you," Ty said. "You brought me back to life. It brought me back to life."
I was so grateful for. What can I say? I was halfway through her story. "I'm sorry I came in here on my own. I'm sorry I came in here without permission. Can I talk to you for a minute?"
I said, "Yes. I've just finished work, so let me get ready to go home. Can you wait here for a moment?" "Thank you for waiting."
"Let's walk a little." I walk alongside Lucia. "What I want to talk about is, but it's gonna take time, so let's talk in this cafe." The store was sparsely populated, just right for a relaxed chat. "Lucia."
"Yes."
"Here, I'd like you to take this if you don't mind." With that, I held out to her the watch I had worked so hard to create.
"Wow, it's so cute. But why?"
"It's a thank you for delivering my wallet.
"I can't accept that."
I made it for you." Lucia's expression changed abruptly. I always thought that a watchmaker was outdated and uncool. In fact, the business wasn't even in good shape. I was about to quit my job when I met you. It was an eye-opener for me. Seeing you working so hard, Lucia, made me want to work hard again too. I had a cup of coffee there. When I was working on that clock, I had a tremendous amount of fun imagining what kind of colors Lucia would like, what kind of designs she would like, and so on. It reminded me of the joys of watchmaking. The clenched fist on his lap is sweating. "So, I'd love you to receive it." I bowed my head.
"I'm grateful to you," she said. "Thank you so much."
"No, it's nothing, but it's nice of you to say that much. I'm so glad you said that." Then Lucia took the watch I made and looked at it lovingly.
"Thank you for such a wonderful watch."
She bowed her head as well. I couldn't help but laugh when I saw that.
"Is something funny?"
I thought it was funny that we both bowed. And I said, "No, sorry. I'm sorry." Then Lucia said something unexpected.
"I like watches.
"What?"
Time is equal for everyone, rich or poor. In front of time, I think we are all equal. Equality. I had never thought about time in that way, even though I was the son of a watchmaker. What happened earlier?
"What was earlier?"
I was mistaken for a thief, wasn't I? It happens all the time, and whenever something happens, I am immediately suspected. Because my house is pole.
I tried to say something, but nothing suitable came to mind.
We're a single mother family, and my brother and sister are still small, so we live on what we can afford to eat that day. And I have a part-time job, too, but it's not easy.
Lucia looked down there. The next moment, however, he forced a smile and drank the water as fast as he could.
But I can't work at that convenience store anymore, so I have to find another job. I don't want my younger brother and sister to be discriminated against because they are called poor like me. So I have to work hard too.
Hearing that, I said what I had been thinking all along. Will you work for me?
What?
As I said before, our business is not doing well, and it's not all right. I can only hire you as a part-timer for now. But if you are willing, Lucia, I would love for you to come. I will do my best to make the store thrive like it used to. And when the business picks up, I want you to become a full-time employee for sure.
What? But I don't know anything about watches.
Lucia's expression was a mixture of surprise and confusion. I'll still do the technical work of the watch repairs. I'd love to have you serve our customers. Seeing you working so hard at the convenience store was a great source of energy for me. I think it would be easier for the younger generation and women in college to come to the store if there was a girl like you instead of me standing in the store, a brusque person. What do you think? Take your time, think about it. It was kind of like a proposal, but Lucia smiled with a big smile I had never seen before.
I understand. If it's all right with me, I'd really appreciate it.
From that point on, I worked furiously, as if I had changed. But the way I had been doing things up to that point was not going to be able to compete with the big manufacturers who were claiming to be inexpensive and highly functional. So I made a 180-degree turnaround in the way I ran my business. In this day and age, simple watches don't sell well. So I decided to start full-scale sales of completely custom-made watches, like the ones I made for Lucia. I decided to start selling fully custom-made watches like the ones I made for Lucia. The price is not cheap, but I started selling them on the internet, mainly through SNS, and word of mouth gradually spread. The elaborate designs that I created using my dexterity became an explosive hit, especially among young people. And our watch store quickly became a very popular store. Today, we are constantly receiving requests from department stores and large malls to open new stores. It wasn't just my hard work that brought us to this point. Lucia came into the store as a part-time worker, and her work has been spectacular. It would be no exaggeration to say that the addition of the quiet Lucia to the store, where I had been the only one, has created a glamorous atmosphere and has contributed to the store's revival. Now, there are more than 1 or 2 people who come to the store just to see her. I have mixed feelings.
Camilo, this is all the merchandise.
Perfect. Lucia, you're so well prepared. You check everything more meticulously than I do, so that's a big help. Today, we are supposed to open a store at a department store event in Tokyo. The person in charge says that the department store's sales will be affected by the fact that we will be opening a stall. Lucia and I have been hard at work since early in the morning getting the stall ready. All right, let's go. I close the trunk and get into the car. Every time Lucia sits in the passenger seat, the smell of shampoo in her hair tickles me. In fact, it's a secret from everyone that this is the happiest moment of my life.
I'm so happy. I get to work with you, Camilo.
My hands were sweating profusely as I gripped the steering wheel. Of course I was happy, too. I'm glad I'm doing this job, too. It's all thanks to you, Lucia. Because I was driving, I couldn't see what kind of expression Lucia had on her face.
I hope lots of customers show up today.
I sure do. I was so grateful to be able to work with such a happy feeling as I basked in the sunlight coming in from the driver's seat. We all tend to be attracted to cool and beautiful things. This can sometimes lead to judgments about people based on their physical appearance or circumstances. I was the same way until I met Lucia. However, I believe that the good and the bad of things are hidden in the things that people cannot see. The person who taught me such an important lesson is now starting to paddle a boat, slumped in the passenger seat. After that, Lucia and I became important partners not only in work, but also in life. But let me tell you about that a little later. We are almost there. I called out to Lucia, filled with bright hope. Come on, I said to Lucia, let's work hard today.